In a small village nestled by a river, where the morning sun painted the red earth a brilliant gold, lived a young woman named Amahal. If you were to ask anyone in the village about her, they would tell you about her smile. It was a smile that could light up the darkest day, a laugh that echoed with pure joy, even when life was anything but easy. But lately, life had been more than just difficult. It had become a relentless test of her spirit. Her journey hadn't been simple. Her father passed away when she was only 10, a profound loss that left her mother to raise 4 children all on her own. Amahal, being the eldest, took on a heavy burden. From the first light of dawn until the last ray of sun disappeared behind the hills, she worked the fields. Her daily routine included a long, arduous trek to the distant river to fetch water, a task that left her hands cracked, blistered, and sore. Still, she persevered, her smile a constant beacon for her family. Then, one year, disaster struck. A storm of unimaginable fury swept through the valley, a maelstrom of wind and rain that flattened everything in its path. The crops, the lifeblood of the village, were completely destroyed. The fields that once promised a harvest now lay submerged under muddy water, a scene of utter devastation. As if that wasn't enough, Amal's mother, weakened by years of hardship and worry, fell gravely ill. The small hut they called home, their only sanctuary, began to leak every time the rains came, a constant dripping reminder of their vulnerability. Each day felt heavier than the one before. The weight of responsibility pressed down on Amal's shoulders, a physical and emotional burden that seemed to grow with every passing hour. The villagers, watching her struggle, began to whisper amongst themselves. Their words, carried on the wind, were filled with pity and doubt. "Amahal will not survive this season," they would say, shaking their heads. "The world is too cruel for a spirit so gentle." Their whispers were like tiny stones, each one adding to the mountain of despair she felt building inside her. One particularly dark night, the sky unleashed its fury once more. Thunder cracked and rolled over the hills, sounding like the roar of an angry giant. Rain pounded against their fragile hut, a relentless drumming that seemed to mock their suffering. Amahal sat huddled in a corner, hugging her knees tightly to her chest, trying to make herself as small as possible. The dirt on her face streaked as silent tears ran down her cheeks, mingling with the dust of the fields. For the first time in her life, she felt truly, utterly broken. The smile was gone, replaced by a hollow emptiness. The laughter was silenced, drowned out by the storm inside and out. But in a brief moment of quiet between the deafening claps of thunder, a memory surfaced, a gentle voice from her past. It was her mother's voice, speaking words she had shared long ago, words that had been planted like seeds in Amal's heart. "Child," her mother had said, "a tree may bend in the storm, but its roots hold the ground. You are like that tree, your roots are strong." Those words echoed in the silence of the night, a lifeline in a sea of despair. They reminded her of who she was, of the strength that lay dormant within her. Amahal closed her eyes, and for a moment, she wasn't just a girl crying in a leaking hut. She was a tree, with roots digging deep into the earth, unyielding and firm. The next morning, Amahal rose with the sunrise. The storm had passed, leaving behind a world washed clean and a new resolve in her heart. She understood then that she couldn't just wait for life to get better, for someone else to come and fix things. Hope wasn't something you waited for. It was something you built, piece by piece. She started small. She found materials to patch the leaking roof of their hut, working tirelessly to make their home secure again. Then, she went out to the flood-damaged fields. The task seemed impossible. Mud and debris covered everything. But she began to clear it, one small patch at a time. She fetched water for her mother, nursing her with a tenderness and determination that defied her exhaustion. Every small task was a battle, a fight against despair, a fight against the whispers of the village. And with every battle she won, she felt her own strength returning. Slowly but surely, the villagers began to notice a change. It wasn't just that Amahal was working hard. They'd always known her to be a hard worker. What they saw now was something different. They saw an unshakable resilience in her eyes, a fierce determination in the set of her jaw, and a quiet, burning hope that refused to be extinguished. Her courage was contagious. Inspired by her spirit, some of the villagers came to help. One neighbor helped her mend the fence around the field. Another shared some seeds they had managed to save. The women of the village took turns helping care for her mother. bringing warm meals and kind words. They learned from Amahal that giving up was not an option. Over time, the landscape of both the village and Amal's life began to transform. Miraculously, new green shoots pushed their way through the cleared earth. Her crops grew again, stronger and more vibrant than before. With proper care and nourishment, her mother's health steadily improved, and soon, her gentle laughter could be heard in the hut once more. The village, which had once whispered about her weakness, now spoke of her strength in tones of awe and respect. Amahal had become a living legend, a story told to children around the fire. She taught them all a powerful lesson, that being broken did not mean being defeated. Every scar, every tear, and every hardship had not destroyed her. They had forged her. They'd built a stronger, wiser, and more compassionate heart. Amal's story reminds us that being broken is not the end. It's often the very beginning. It's the start of discovering a depth of strength you never knew you had. It's the beginning of a new kind of courage, one that can face any storm. And it's the beginning of a story that can inspire countless others to find their own way through the darkness. In the heart of Africa, as in the heart of every human, even in the harshest storms, hope always finds its way through the cracks. Thank you for watching. If this story touched you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that celebrates the power of the human spirit. Remember, your own story of resilience is waiting to be written.